Introducing the new party. We live stream every Tuesday and Thursday p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crash into Greece. Oh, my God.
Let's go right now to John Nelson. He was a passenger on the plane. John, thank you so much for being with us. We're so glad you're okay. I mean, who would have known that you were in a plane crash a few hours ago? It's unbelievable. You have video that you recorded. We've been watching. Tell us when you first realized something was the matter.
Yeah, it was a typical flight from Minneapolis to Toronto. And we were coming in, and I did notice that the winds were super gusty. The snow had kind of blown over the runways. And so coming in, it was routine, but it was noticeable that the runways were kind of in a weird condition. And when we hit, it was just a super hard, I hit the ground and the plane went sideways. And I believe we skidded on our side and then flipped over on our back where we ended up. There was a big fireball out this left side of the plane. And when we got finished, it was, I was upside down. Everybody else was there as well. Thankfully, everybody was okay. But we tried to get out of there as quickly as possible. And then shortly thereafter, I got done filming the video. There was another explosion, but luckily the firefighters got out of there.
They were there quickly, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So where were you seated in the plane?
I was in row 10 of the plane, so just front of the wing.
And did you see the wing come off?
No, by that point we were being tossed around. I was just trying to hold on to everything at that point.
And how did you get yourself out of your seatbelt? And did everyone stay in their seatbelts that you could tell? Was everyone hanging upside down? Had anyone slipped out of their seatbelts?
Yeah, I mean, it was mass chaos. I was upside down. The lady next to me was upside down. We kind of let ourselves go and fell to hit the ceiling, which is surreal feeling. And then everybody was just like, get out, get out, get out. We could smell jet fuel. Even now I smell like jet fuel. And then we just crawled out the back of the airplane. The firefighters, the EMTs were there right away.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Jenna Morgan.
And I'm Mia.
And tonight on the new party, we're going to be talking about the first story is going to be regarding the Toronto plane crash. As you guys can see in the clip, it was a miracle plane crash. Plane literally did a loop-de-loop and 80 people survived. I don't know how it happened, but thank you, Jesus, it did. Mia, what's your thoughts on the plane crashes we've been seeing and what happened yesterday?
I thought that plane crash was wild. I couldn't imagine being on that plane. I thought it was crazy how it just completely flipped over, ended up upside down, skidded. I will say I could I'm just surprised that Toronto, Canada's known for some pretty treacherous weather. So I don't know why they allowed them to fly, because sometimes they'll cancel the flight or they'll delay it for bad weather. And it sounds like there was very high winds. I don't know why they didn't keep up with their runway either. As you could see, like it was completely covered in snow, potentially ice as well. So that's just super weird to me. Usually they're very good. I know in Boston, I don't know, and maybe in New York, but I know in Boston, they're very good about plowing and taking care of their runway. So I'm just really, really surprised that they just allowed a series of unfortunate events to happen, which seems like this is what caused this. And, it is very interesting that we're having so many plane crashes. I know there are quite a few a year, around 200 anyways, of near misses and stuff happening with planes. So I'm just wondering if the media is just throwing it in our face a little bit more than they normally would. And that's why it feels like so many are happening.
Everyone watching, please go follow Jenna. Jenna's co-hosting with us tonight. Jenna, do you think it's fair for everyone to blame Trump for this?
No, definitely not, because also the first about two or maybe even the third one of the year were prior to him making the comments about we need to look into the FFA and then firing people. But and then also the 400 people that were fired out of the 45,000 people actually were just hired within a year. None of them there. He did at first say to fire a couple air traffic controllers, but then he recanted that. So actually no air traffic controllers or anyone at a high level in the FFA was fired. And these were all, I forget the term, I think it was like either probatory positions or prohibitory positions, and they were just only had been working there for a year. So to blame Trump for, yes, 400 people did get fired, and he had a hand in making sure that they were merit-based and that they were qualified, they still were short 3,500, and they still are short 3,500 air traffic controllers. So regardless, before the firing or not, they were still short-staffed. So no, unfortunately, everything Trump is doing is under a microscope right now. So he could literally say the word "the" and someone is going to have an issue with it. I just got into several debates today, which were fun. And I just took a step back to be like, you know what? I'm glad people are caring. And that was like the thing I kind of finished my day with before I got here. I was like, you know what? People care, and I care this much. I'm that passionate. That's why we all do this. So even if they're on the other side, they care about the outcome of the world, and I appreciate that. But no, everything is getting blamed on Trump, and we're seeing that across the board.
Gray, you're by yourself tonight. I'm usually outnumbered on Thursday night. Now it's just you. Should we blame Trump? Is it DEI's fault? What is it?
So I was on a cruise for my birthday, and I saw the documentary. I didn't watch it. They were talking about that the parts are bad parts, and that they're actually fighting over bad parts. So I will give you guys that is probably some technical parts issue. But what Trump did and JD Vance did is they lost credibility when they blamed DEI, when they could have said it's fraud, it's people doing this, the technical issues. Then people will say, okay, that makes sense. And then, because I really did see that on documentary that there's something with parts going on with planes, and we all fly and travel, so we all should be worried about that.
I saw that too. I heard it was something with, I don't know, the fuel. I would be lying if I remember the exact part of the plane, but I saw specifically also for this one, and then another one that either crashed into another jet on the actual runway. They didn't take off yet. That was something with parts too. But I'm into I do think it's weird. I think it's very weird that there's this many and this frequent. I've never heard of this frequent and this consistently since January. It's kind of weird.
Maybe this is the Democrats' plot to make Trump look stupid, because Chuck Schumer sure tweeted out, to those asking whether it matters that the plane's destination was in Canada, the flight took off from Minneapolis. The FAA was still responsible for inspecting the aviation equipment, and Trump just let go of FAA safety specialists.
okay.
Oh, well, everything. I guess. I guess everything's Trump's fault. It snowed. It's Trump's fault.
Everything.
I slipped and fell down. Trump's fault. I mean,
Now,
everything's
the
Trump's fault
runway
now.
wasn't cleared in Toronto. Like, that's a good point that Mia had. The runway wasn't cleared in Toronto. That's not America, but that's still Trump's fault.
Right. And like that's the first thing that I noticed when I originally saw that video is you see the plane and I noticed it's a sea of white. Like it's whiteout conditions. There is high winds and the ground is completely covered in snow squall. I mean, it's almost impossible to drive on snow like that where it's thin layer that's covering ice. So the simple fact that Toronto didn't delay or even clear that area is crazy to me. I've definitely flown in the wintertime out of Boston and you absolutely have to clear all of the snow. You're putting down salt. I mean, this is just very basic stuff. It just seems like a series of unfortunate events. Why didn't Toronto clear the roads? Why didn't they delay? Why they have a weather Doppler. They have all of these things. I mean, making that flight path was super risky, and to blame Trump for the snow, to blame him for high winds, to blame him for Toronto's lack of basic maintenance to their facility is wild work.
I agree.
They should blame Trudeau.
I agree. Hey, Gray, you got a fan. He said we're gonna get you to smile one of these days, my guy.
What? I smile. I'm always on here laughing.
Yeah, he's just laughing at us. He's happy.
Oh my God.
Gray is one of the Democrats that's excited. Everything's Trump's fault. But we're gonna move on to the other side.